What's up, peeps? Crypto Enigma here. Welcome back to the channel, baby. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different for this channel, just to kind of shake things up a bit. So I decided to drop my first ever product review. And today we're going to go ahead and look at the brand new GameStop exclusive, customizable CandyCon controller. Now, for those of you unaware, GameStop recently launched the new line of customizable controllers with the idea that you can essentially build your own controllers with your preferred color schemes or potential licensed themes, as is the rumor, but we'll have to see. Having said that, I needed a new controller anyway, so I decided to buy the controller, and then I figured I would just make a video kind of checking out the controller with you guys. And since I'm customizing a controller, I did have the idea to give it my own personal artistic touch, which I actually think really ended up demonstrating the true potential of this concept. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. So here is everything I purchased. I bought the base unit, which is the controller itself, two faceplates, one of them coming in a solid white combo pack and the other is green, but it's also actually glow in the dark. Yo! Red thumbsticks, aside from the ones included in the combo pack, which are white, and blue D-pads. Included with the controller is a USB cable and a wireless adapter, so you can choose to either play through wired or wireless connection depending on your preference, and of course a manual. Astounding! Now, the base controller itself basically comes as a skeleton, but my immediate thought while looking at it was that all of the internal components look extremely easy to access, which is definitely a positive for reasons that I'll explain later in this video. But you also see that it has back buttons, the three menu buttons that most controllers usually have, the plus and minus on the Switch, etc. And the little switch here on the back that actually allows you to toggle between gaming on either the PC or your Nintendo Switch. Excellent! First, I'll be installing the red thumbsticks, which I initially thought would clip on magnetically like they do on the Series 2, but you actually have to push them onto the stick, which took me a few tries, I'm not gonna lie. The D-pad was very easy to install, however, and I noticed that it's kind of mechanical or whatever, so it's really clicky. It makes a really clicky sound. Awesome. And of course, lastly, I installed the glow-in-the-dark faceplate, which I actually think has a pretty intelligent design in that it clips on magnetically to the screws of the controller, so it's actually really easy to install or remove the faceplate. Nice. Here you see the fully assembled controller, and I actually think it looks pretty sick, to be honest. But next we'll have a look at the solid white combo pack, and honestly, this one looks pretty good as well. I have to say that the solid white accessories on the black controller gives it a really sleek look that I think it's pretty sick. Now, the ability to customize the controller with your preferred color scheme is like literally the point of the controller. So to demonstrate its purpose, I'm just going to kind of mix and match some of the accessories that I purchased so you can kind of further see how this whole thing is meant to work. Magnificent! So for the purpose of this review, I will often be making comparisons to the Switch's Pro controller and Xbox's Series 2 controller, which is definitely one of the more premium controllers. And I'm going to be making these comparisons just so you guys can kind of get the idea of how the CandyCons function and where they sit in terms of quality. Now, my initial thought upon holding the controller is that it's a little light. I want to say slightly lighter than the Switch's Pro controller, and I don't remember how light the standard Xbox controllers are, but I remember thinking that they were also pretty light, and this controller feels very similar to that. In fact, the overall design is obviously inspired by the Xbox controller. It even comes with these back buttons, which is something that the Pro controller doesn't have. So I'd say that the overall feel of the controller is very reminiscent of the Xbox controller. The plastic on the controller is okay. It does feel pretty sturdy. It does feel durable. But I have to say that the plastic on the Switch's Pro controller, it is thicker. It does feel a little stronger, and so the Switch Pro controller does generally feel like it has more premium plastic than the CandyCons do. However, while holding the controller, I can immediately feel that the handles are thicker than the handles on the Pro controller, and I actually like that because I have pretty big hands, and so the thicker grips fit my hands more comfortably, and in fact the overall controller feels and actually looks thicker than the Pro controller. The joysticks here are great because they're actually Hall effect joysticks, and even though I'm not entirely sure how they work, I understand that they help prevent drifting, so that's definitely a plus. And the stick themselves feel fine. They're honestly like any other controller, but to kind of give you an idea, the tension of the sticks here are very similar to the tension of the sticks on the Pro controller. The front buttons here are pretty nice, you know, they're big and reachable, nothing too special. The left and right triggers, however, along with the D-pad are again kind of mechanical, so they do make that clicky sound when pressed, and I happen to really like that. However, the second triggers here actually have tension, which I really do like, and this is something that the Pro controller actually lacks for whatever reason, so I'm really glad that the controller has this. Now, I did mention that I liked how easily accessible the internal components were, and this is why. As you may have already noticed, the grips on my Series 2 are tearing off, but also I have a very stubborn sticky button that I cannot clean no matter what I try, and I have tried everything. So after messing around with the candy cons for a while, I started kind of thinking to myself, you know, wouldn't it be great if I could just remove the faceplate from my Series 2 and just easily clean the buttons? It would also be pretty cool if I could just somehow like remove the rubber grips and replace them. Also, we Switch owners are far too familiar with the drifting issues that plague the Joy-Cons, and you've probably found yourself trying to blow into or squeeze alcohol into the inside of the stick at some point. So looking at a controller with a removable faceplate that allows you to easily access and clean, you know, like the inner parts of the buttons and the sticks, it's a refreshing new concept that I'm really glad somebody thought of. Having said that, in the spirit of customization, I decided to personalize my custom controllers by adding this Straw Hat Jolly Roger freehand. Baby, I did this. To do this, I first drew the outline of the Jolly Roger with pen. This was actually pretty tricky, but I managed to do it. And then I grabbed my Posca markers and colored in the yellow and red parts of the hat before finally tracing over the entire outline with black. And ta-da! Damn, boy! Peep my new super sick GameStop exclusive personalized custom controller, baby. Woo! Chef's kiss. Again, it looks super sick and the specs are fine and all, but how does it handle? Come on.
Perfect. Bruh.
Motherfucker, bitch! Ain't nobody playing with you, man! The motherfucker got me while my back was turned. Alright, y'all, we in Splatoon now. Still using the same control. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Ooh!
Gotcha, bitch.
Ooh! Y'all seen that? Oh, fuck. Get the fuck up. Woo! Yeah, man, I lost that one, but whatever, that was that. As you can see, I was able to play both Fortnite and Splatoon with this one controller here. Alright, so that was the test run, and honestly, it worked fine, just as well as any other controller, to be honest. You might have noticed that I was aiming manually in Fortnite, but I used motion controls in Splatoon, and it handled both games fine. So in conclusion, the controller works essentially the same as any other controller, but it actually does set itself apart by offering this customizable experience that currently no other controller on the market offers, and I really do feel that the customization aspect can be greatly expanded upon. Take my Straw Hat Jolly Roger for example. If they are somehow able to release officially licensed accessories like official Pokemon faceplates, or like, you know, joysticks with official logos on them, or like you can imagine like the Hylian shield on the D-pad, etc. If they are somehow able to do this, I think they might really have something here. If this idea does ever take off, I would advise them to develop a more premium version of this thing, a more premium version of this controller, something like the Series X that offers all of the same customization options and potentially even more. But with all of that in consideration, I have to say that I actually genuinely do recommend this product because it is legitimately a viable and cheaper alternative to the Pro Controller and the standard Xbox controllers. Definitely the Series 2, but if you need a new controller and you happen to be strapped for cash, or you know, for whatever reason you just don't want to buy another Switch or Xbox controller, then the GameStop candy cons are definitely something to consider. I genuinely do believe that. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it to the end of this video, I absolutely appreciate you and I cannot thank you enough. But for what it's worth, thank you for watching. And I don't normally make content like this, but if you happen to enjoy this video, then you may enjoy some of my other content as well, so do feel free to check that out if you so wish to. But again, with that being said, thank you for watching, and I love you, baby. Mwah.